Hey, what's up, Kiki crew? This is your girl CoCo with another episode of Kiki and with CoCo. Want to say thank y'all for tuning in. I'm excited about this week's conversation because it's gonna be with my homegirl Drea. She been on the show a couple of times now, but it wouldn't be right to not have her on the show. So, Drea, you want to go ahead and say what's up?
Hey, everybody.
So I am excited about this conversation because Drea is gonna give it to you real raw, real, and
Whew.
we gonna hit on some things today.
Let's-
So, like every episode, we are starting off with a drink with Coco, and the drink this week is the guest recommendation, and she recommended a what's it called?
French 75.
A French 75, which is, so I did look up the recipe for this, and I'm actually really excited about trying this because it looked like it's gonna be good.
Ooh.
And I legit got a full bar because I had everything on this list
Oh, you ready, girl?
ready. So it is so you use gin, so 2 ounces of gin, 3/4 ounces of lemon juice, a half an ounce of simple syrup, and 2 ounces of champagne. So this is gonna be a cute little drink. I think it's a really good brunch drink. So I'm excited to try this. Definitely gonna post it, let y'all know how it tastes. But what exactly about this drink made you be like, this the one?
It gives, a grown woman classy, of course. I've been going out by myself a lot lately, so kind of if you at the bar by yourself having a drink, um, it still give you, something that's a little strong, but it's still classy because they put it in, a cute glass. It's really good if you top it with prosecco, like for your champagne. So yeah, so it's kind of like my little classy, but that gin still give it a little to
Well,
it. So yeah, it's like my little grown woman drink. It's when the girl's ready to graduate from the lemon drop, they come on over to the French 75. I just kind of don't do the lemon drops because vodka after college it done told me off, so I don't mess with vodka like that. But the French 75 is definitely a good, a girl's go to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. And it's definitely something that I think I would drink regularly, especially like right now, because I said I did want to make the transition from drinking hard liquor just because I do feel like that's where a lot of my weight comes from, is from drinking. So I want to drink things that are less sweet, but I don't want to just drink straight liquor. So yeah, I'm thinking like wine, champagne, rosé, those type of things are the things that I kind of want to delve into now. So this is actually a perfect drink for me to try at this time. So I'm excited to try it out.
Okay, girl, let me know how you like it.
Yes, girl. So now that we got this drink going, we're gonna go ahead and get into the word on the street. And so when I tell you the streets is messy right now. So
Whew.
Megan the Stallion, she dropped her single His, and apparently she has offended Nicki Minaj, and now Nicki Minaj is all in a tizzy. So, and she
Busy, huh? The lady ain't slept since the song dropped. Okay.
what was she on live for 72 hours?
Ain't just ranting. Like, and baby, she ain't say your name. She ain't say, I mean, the girl had one line. She said, "You really ain't mad at me. What you mad at Megan's Law?" Like, damn. Like she said, the hit dogs was gonna holler, and this lady is hollering back.
Hollering.
Whew, child.
Yes.
I'm, I'm embarrassed for the Barb's. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's sad. She going out sad. Okay.
I will say I really want to like Nicki Minaj. I really do. But I just feel like the way she has been acting with everybody, like everybody is a problem. Every female artist that comes out, it's a problem. Like, what is wrong? Like, for a long time, it was really just you. And
Right.
now, for a long time, it really was just her. And now all these other girls are coming up, and it's a problem. And it's just like, you had your time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you got to stop rapping because people like all of these girls came up listening to you, being a fan of you, and you
Exactly.
real life out here like on some mean girl shit.
Exactly. And it's like, sweetheart, you're too old for that. You're 43 years old. Like, grow up.
Grow
Stop.
up.
Stop it. And it's sad because she embraced Megan in the beginning. But it was like
Mm-hmm.
when Megan, when it did walk with Cardi and, they built that friendship, all of a sudden it's the issue. But it's kind of like I'm grown. I don't have to not mess with her because you don't mess with her. Like, we're
Mm-hmm.
not besties. We're industry associates. I'm
Right.
gonna still make my money and make my money moves. But yeah, Nicki is just sad. First it was Cardi, then you at Lotto, and then you worked for Coyle Ray, then you came at her. It's like, sweetheart, you don't own the rap game. You can't handle a little competition, and then you mentioning her and her 3 Grammys, baby.
She
She
got
3 for
them.
6. You 0 for 12. You have none. So it's just kind of like, you, baby, be mad at the Academy. Don't be mad at her.
Mm-hmm.
That the like that energy is misdirected. Who?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
she'll
really
be grown.
think that's what it come down to. Like, she mad at everybody and she just directing it at the wrong people. Like, if
Exactly.
anything, now I will say, I'm personally a fan of Cardi B. And I like how Cardi B, like, she will get on the girl's song. She will get him a beat. She will give him a verse. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, embrace the younger crew. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see Queen Latifah, MC Light, Yo Yo, and them out here pissed because the girls is out here winning.
Right.
They know
Exactly.
they too old for that shit.
Exactly. Like, baby, you somebody mama now. Just go sit down over there and handle your bit. Let them, leave them alone. Like, let them be, let them flourish, let them grow, let them. I ain't gonna lie though. That Put It On the Floor remix with Lotto and Cardi. That
Mhm.
was my. They got you, lady. They say you must ain't took your meds. They was at. That's my jam. That's your head. Like, lead the girl. Just leave the girls alone, baby. Then you come out with this, like they said, this Dr. Seuss Bigfoot, 1 foot, 2 foot, like. Girl, stop it. Then you want to attach all these bodies to this girl name. And it's the dead mama part for me. Like, lady, you need some mental help. Like, Nicki Minaj needs a therapist at this point because
Mhm.
how low, like, must you be to go that low to steady mentioning her mother? Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah. I want to say something in me is saying it was Ruby Rose that posted it, but because I'm not sure, I'm just gonna say one of the girls posted about how Nicki Minaj is just evil, whatever. And I'm really starting to feel that way about her because what was your purpose?
I mean, and Megan, she took little shots at everybody in the song. You the only person you responding. Like, keep it classy, honey, and just keep it cute, keep it on mute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just like I haven't listened to I guess the response track that she posted. I think she said she had like 3 or 4 more. It's just like you wasting your time.
Girl,
Put,
the
put
track
something
is
out worth
literally
it.
the track is literally everything she been posting on Twitter and on her live rant for the last 3, 4 days. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, girl, baby, you could have kept this. Like, you going, not that it was bad enough you got on Twitter and said all this, but you don't put this on wax, you don't put it on record. Like, baby, you going out sad. And it's a shame what she's doing to her legacy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
stop it. They say everybody trying to sell their tickets for the Gag City tour. They don't even want to go no more. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like that man said on TikTok, honey, you on Instagram going on a rant, baby. You supposed to be somewhere practicing for your tour, okay?
Right. You worried about the wrong thing.
The wrong.
Like, you too old. You concerned about things that have nothing to do with you. Like, let people do their artistry. You know what I'm saying? People let you do yours.
And my sister brought up a great point this morning. She said you got the Barbs and the Hotties going against each other. Thank God we in the Beehive, so we don't got nothing
Right.
to do with that because the Queen would
The
never.
queen, the
Okay,
queen is above this peasantry.
she would never.
Mm-mm. She would not. It's just like, girl, why haven't you taken a book out of Queen Bee's book? Like a page out of her book. Like, you
Baby,
take what did our forever first lady say? She said, When they go low, I go high. Where is that at, Nikki?
I don't know, but I think a lot of us have adapted. When they go low, we go lower.
A lot of people
But
be going to hell,
this
child.
right here, yeah, you right about it. I go sometimes too, but I've been working on myself. But yeah, yeah, she definitely ain't listening to none of that, honey.
Mm-mm. She definitely needs some therapy because you feeling like somebody wronged you at the end of the day, and people just living their life, living their dream. Let them.
But then I knew somebody brought up that Nicki kind of even started this first on her song on the Fuck the Club Up where she says, stay in your Tory Lane hole or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, she did.
Yeah, already kind of like came at this girl. So
Mm-hmm.
mad about her saying, you ain't really mad at me, you mad at Megan's Law. Like, that's facts, baby. You mad that when your baby graduate that your husband can't come to graduation be around the kids. Like, it's misdirection.
Mm-hmm.
You
Because
have
I
to
ain't gonna lie, I had to look up what's make. I was like, what is Megan's Law?
girl.
And I'm just like, you can't be mad that this is the person that you chose to make your spouse.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's just all bad. She going out sad for real.
Mm-hmm.
Going out sad,
It's
going.
giving she on that shit.
That's what the streets are saying.
That's what it's giving. Cause you off your rocker.
That's what the streets are saying.
And it's sad. It's sad.
Yes, it really is. I would hate that for her. But yeah, that's
I
what
do
they.
hate that for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she needs therapy and to stick with it because don't just do a couple sessions. You probably need a lifelong
Right, like you too
therapy.
old, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. It's sad. But Megan is keeping it cute, keeping it classy. So she'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, take a page out of these male rappers' pages. All of them old as fuck. They all drop a song here and there. They give them they get a girls a verse here and there. Like, just
Hmm.
do your job. Let these girls pay you homage.
Right. It was like I wouldn't even acknowledged it. I would have just stayed on my Pink Friday 2 train. That's
Right.
what she should have did. It would have
Right.
been. I never heard it. But no, 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 no.
And the Barb's is upset, but it's just like she putting this out there.
Girl, yeah, you know you. The Barb's is crazy.
Mm-hmm. But on from the craziness of Nicki Minaj, um, and more into a kind of like I think a topic everybody can relate to is just so Iman Shumpert and Teyana Taylor. Of course, we learned a few months ago or whenever we did that they was going through a divorce. And I would say I'm the type of person I'm always rooting for love.
Of
So
course.
I was a little sad because they seem so genuine, so loving to each other. And I mean, that just goes to show you, like, you just don't know what go on behind closed doors with people,
Hmm.
but now that they are separated, I'm assuming in the house, in the home that they shared together, maybe he was paying all the bills. So since he's not living there, they're not together. I'm assuming he had stopped paying the utilities. And so some utilities got cut off and she
Yeah,
had,
yeah. He went low. He went to hell. You right
yeah,
about
he went low.
that.
Um, and I think that at this point in time, I mean, I don't know. It don't seem like they on good terms. Because I
Mhm.
think she said that she tried to keep the situation, private by filing under their initials versus filing with their real names. And then, like I guess they had been going through this for a whole year before anything actually came out when he went to go file like an adjustment or something to the claim and use their real names, and that's how it got out.
Mm.
And it made me wonder, like, did he do that on purpose? Did he? Because honestly, like, I think as that being her children's father, she wanted to protect whatever was going on between them so that they could operate amicably without all the outside influences. And then now that everything is public, now you got everybody putting their 2 cents in. Now y'all mad at each other. Now y'all not communicating with each other. And now utilities is getting cut off.
Now, for him to cut off them utilities, that is low to the flow. Um, so something, let me go back to when you just mentioned how, looking on the outside in on their relationship, like we all loved Teyana and Iman together, it was beautiful
Mm-hmm.
love. They have those beautiful children. And I think as a married couple, they did exactly what you're supposed to do. Like if there is something going on in the home, you should not know. Like people, the public shouldn't be privy to that information. So I think as a wife, she was doing what she needed to do to try to protect, um, the process, even though I'm sure that it was painful to her.
Mm-hmm.
But she also has to think about the children. So I understood, the filing under the initials, doing what she can. Because again, even though they are public figures, they did have for the most part, I guess you could say a private marriage outside of, how people were saying they were swinging and whatnot. But,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much we didn't know like the ins and outs of their marriage.
Right.
Um, so yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Like you never want to see people go through this, and then they're a young couple on top of that. Teyana doing her thing, Iman doing his thing. Like it's just all messy. And when you going through the divorce process, somebody is hurt. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, both people are hurt. Like nobody wants to say, "Hey, let me go file for divorce," but it's somebody who does not want this divorce to happen that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna fight, that's gonna give a little pushback. And so Iman might be that person, but I'm sure that Teyana is still hurt because I don't care what you see, like even though she's still out living her life, partying, smiling, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you have to do. You can't let it consume you, but it's hurt. I've been on here before. Back years ago when we talked about love, my relationship, my marriage. I think it was probably right after I had been celebrated 10 years of marriage. But at this point in time, I am a, recently divorced woman, and that process is not for the weak, especially when there are children involved.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely understand her trying to protect both of them, but really the children. Our kids, they can read all of it. Her daughter is smart, older. She can see all of this on the internet. Her
Right.
friends talk about it. Like, I'm pretty sure she definitely tried to do her best to protect the kids and protect his name and her name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation. I also heard some stuff about how he sends the kids in Ubers places, versus dropping them off. Yeah, like he just put the kids in the Uber to go to her versus him getting in the car and Ubering them to where they're supposed to be. I'm like, that's bad. A lot of people were saying he
That
had
is so scary.
it is, and I'm like, yeah, her
Cause
oldest.
them young kids, it ain't like they teenagers.
Yes, and I don't care if you put them in an Uber Black, baby. That's not right. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot of little things that have started coming out. So it is kind of seeming like it's getting to the point where it will possibly get messy. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate for both of them because, like I said, they both public figures. She doing her thing. I know he don't play ball no more, but he doing his thing in the shy. And it's yeah, it's not a good look. Like I feel for them. I feel for her. But ultimately when it comes to divorce, like that's not a decision that one makes lightly. So I
Mm-hmm.
truly believe one thing that I kind of noticed that was like a trend, just like women choosing themselves, like
Mm-hmm.
prioritizing you. And not saying that Iman is a bad person, but if it wasn't working for them, if they grew apart, she made the best decision for her.
Right. Um, when I think about divorce, like of course I've gone through a divorce before, but we didn't have children involved. Everything happened pretty quickly, but I was the one on the end of the situation that didn't want the divorce. But at this point, I can realize like, I don't think he came to that decision lightly to be like, I want a divorce, or I don't want to be married no more. Um, and so I get it, like at this point, like looking from the standpoint of the person that's requesting a divorce, because at the end of the day, like if you continue forth with what is going on, like how good or how much better can the situation get, if it's bad. And then ultimately you have to choose you and what's going to make you happy, because you can't depend on other people for your happiness, but you can't stay in a relationship with somebody knowing that you unhappy in this relationship and now other parts of your life is potentially suffering because of this situation over here. So I get it wholeheartedly. Like, even the relationship that I just got out of, like, we weren't married, but we invested, or I will say I invested a lot of time into that relationship. And me choosing
Mhm.
to ultimately leave it was not because I just didn't want to be with him. I just didn't want to love him. But I felt like I had to choose me because I felt like it was no longer serving me. You know what I'm saying? The relationship itself, I didn't feel like was going in the direction that I wanted it to go. You know,
Right.
like, again, you can't force nobody's timeline, but then if you're not making progress in the timeline, it's just like, how can you expect me to continue forth with this?
Exactly, because it's a lot of things you can spend money, make it back, but one thing you can't get back is your time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I definitely agree that she did what she had to do, what was best for her and her children. Hopefully, they can get to a point where they can co-parent together, because it at the end of the day, because they have children, those children are the ones that are ultimately suffering because of this lack of communication or lack of will to get along with each other. And it might be, maybe she trying to make it easy to get along, but he being difficult because the situation didn't go in his favor.
Hmm.
Because I
Um,
do think in those situations, like, people get spiteful. Like, when I went through my divorce, like, I wanted to be spiteful and be like, let's draw this shit out. Like, how can I draw this out? But then it was just like, what for? We ain't got shit together.
right,
You
right.
don't want to be with me? Fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be with me.
And this is so again, even regardless, like I said, whoever files, whoever initiates the divorce process, like you don't come to that lightly. Like that's something, and especially when a woman files and makes the decision. So it's all these things, and I'm not gonna lie, honey. On social media, people have a lot of commentary on things they have never lived or never experienced. So
Hmm.
you enter a marriage, this is a covenant. Like you made a promise to this person under God. So it's I'm here for you, I'm here to support you. This is till death do us part. Nobody goes into marriage wanting to get divorced. Okay.
Right.
Even who marry men with the money, they ain't going in wanting to get divorced. They going in waiting until he dies so they can get the money. Nobody goes into marriage expecting a divorce. That's not so for me, that was never a desire of my heart. I worked really hard to try to salvage my marriage and make things work for the sake of me, for the sake of him, but really for the sake of my children. But when you think about that, you want to keep your family together for your children, but what example are you setting if they're in a home where it's not a peaceful home, it's not a loving home, it's not a happy home? I'm raising two boys and a daughter. Do I want my boys to think this is love? Do I want my daughter to think this is love? No. Um, Ultimately, like whatever we doing here, whatever I'm doing with my children, they're gonna go out in the world and do that same thing. So
Hmm.
my kids won't go out in the world mistreating people and not knowing what love is or accepting less than or because they won't have that example. And
Hmm.
I think getting to any point, um, it starts with you. Like it's a self love process. Like I'm saying, Nikki needs some therapy, honey. I'm saying that because I done been through therapy, and I do feel
Hmm.
like therapy is what got me to that point where I like my therapist didn't say, "Oh, get a divorce." Like, no, I started therapy to deal with the grief of my daughter having autism. I was feeling down, depressed, like just in a really dark space. So I was just like, I need to talk to somebody. So that's when I
Hmm.
so we started therapy for me to process those feelings. But then,
Hmm.
of course, when you get in therapy, you get to talking about different parts of your life. It's deep.
They start digging.
Yeah, you back into your childhood, you into this, into that,
Hmm.
and literally, I was in therapy probably for 2 years, and then like we just kind of kept coming back to this same thing, and it was like it was no peace in my house, like my foundation, my what was supposed to be my support, and like it wasn't that. And so I
Hmm.
I knew what the problem was, but it's that wasn't what I came to address. So I kept trying to push it behind me, but it kept coming to the forefront. So
Right.
I had to make a decision for me, for the kids, and ultimately for him too, because it wasn't good for him either.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't healthy for him either. So it's a painful thing, but
Yeah.
to me, I feel like it was necessary. Like I
Mhm.
said, it was not nothing I chose out, regardless to what you see or what you think, honey. I do not want to be a hot girl. I do not want to be back outside. Okay, it's who want to be back outside dating at 35? Nobody. Okay, we
Right. I'm not trying to be in the streets.
exactly.
I
The
be
streets
telling folks I'm on the porch.
not well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm not in the streets, but am I gonna live my best life? Yes, I am. Am
Mm-hmm.
I to do what I want to do? Yes, I am. I'm not gonna let y'all put me in a box just because I'm a mama or this or that. I'm gonna do it. And that's another thing. You have to not give a fuck about what people think. The minute you don't care about what people think, then you'll be able to make the best decisions for your life and move
Mm-hmm.
forward. It's true happiness.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
A lot of people stay in situations and marriages and do things to people please other people. And
Mm-hmm.
I get it because I did that for a long time. I was a people pleaser. For a long time, I care what other people think. But when you don't, and you truly just don't give a fuck, you're gonna be fine. Because then
Mm-hmm.
you really live for yourself and really do what it is you need to do. It like again, like I said, I'm 35 with 3 kids divorced, and it's people be like, oh, you know how they try to be like, oh, you well, you damaged goods and you listen to that. Hey, baby, no, I'm not. Okay.
Nope.
But that's the thing. You can't care about them labels and what people gonna say about you. Like, baby, I know who I am. I know what I bring to the baby. I ain't gonna say what I bring to the table, okay, honey. I know who I am. I know what I
Mm-hmm.
do. I know my value, and it can never be measured by what a podcast poppy got to say. Okay,
Yeah.
I know.
You mentioned like when you filed divorce for the divorce, you had to do it for yourself, you had to do it for him. And that's a good point that you bring. Like the person that's filing for divorce, like they've come to the conclusion as to why this relationship is no longer working. And the other person is holding on, thinking that it can get better. But ultimately, if you're not gonna do the work, like how can it get better? You know what I'm saying? But then like when I talk about going through my divorce or whatever, I am appreciative that he had the foresight to be like, this ain't it. Cause my fool ass would have been like, well, we married, we gotta work it out. So I'm glad that he made that decision for me. And I can see that it was beneficial now. Because even when I think about potentially having children with him or whatever, not that he was a bad person or anything like that. It's just that we weren't on the same page as to how we wanted to start a family. We wasn't on the same page as to how we wanted to raise our kids. Like I know people was telling me like, why are y'all arguing about something that hasn't even happened? And I'm like, how do you not have those conversations? Like, I don't want to have kids and bring them into a situation where my co-parent or my spouse, we can't get on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Like you making decisions and just to make a united front, I may have to just go along because you made the decision. You know what I'm saying? Or we doing different things and we setting the precedents that you don't have to be equally yoked in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, ultimately, like you were saying, like how we interact with each other is teaching, showing our children like what they should be doing in relationships. And so I'm like, I don't want to set a bad example for my kids. Like I've always seen my parents be loving to each other, never seen my parents argue with each other. So of course that's not something I want my kids to grow up seeing. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like if these are things that we can't agree on now, like how can we get to a place where we gonna agree on that type of stuff? So it's just like ultimately it wasn't what we needed. We needed to be apart, but I'm appreciative for that relationship because it showed me what I didn't want in a spouse. And even now, like moving forward with dating other people, potentially being more serious with people, it's like I can look back on the experiences that I've had and just be like, this is not something I want in my relationship. These are things that I can bring up in conversation. And of course, when you talking about things like talking about and actually doing are two different things, but it's at least knowing like we on the same page right now. You know what I'm saying? Like moving forward, we understand how to communicate with each other. We potentially understand each other's triggers moving
Mhm.
forward, you know? So I definitely think like regardless if you go through a divorce, a breakup, or whatever, like it's important to take that time to heal from those relationships. Like I'm a very big proponent of doing therapy. Like I have been in therapy on and off for years. And more so, like initially I started going to therapy because of, just going through that divorce and dealing with those emotions. And of course, like you said, they get to digging and, other
Mhm.
stuff come up. But then I also realized like sometimes I don't really deal with my emotions. I kind of just be like, well, it is what it is, keep it pushing, and when things have occurred in my life, I'll go back to therapy. Like, I just want to make sure I'm dealing with whatever it is that has come up in my life. Like, do I feel a way? I don't think so, but I don't know if my life had been different, if I had known this earlier in my life, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like dealing with the unknowns, like learning
Right.
how to deal with the unknowns.
hmm But that's why I think therapy is important because again, it teaches you how to really know yourself, how to really
Mm-hmm.
love yourself. And if you know yourself and you love yourself, you're able to tackle those unknowns with a clear mind, a
Mm-hmm.
clear heart. Um, and it'll truly be like what CoCo wants to do. It won't be what CoCo mom want her to do or what your commander wants you to do or whoever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it'll be what you want to do because
Mm-hmm.
you know yourself. You've processed your feelings and you know okay. I'm gonna do what I'm like moving forward. So that's to me. That's why I think it's important for us to heal, like you said, and sit with ourselves. Because if not, then I won't learn anything from this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be able to really process how, like with divorce, like you said, it teaches you what you want, what you don't want moving forward, or that's any relationship, any
Mm-hmm.
whether you with somebody for a brief period of time or a long period of time, whatever you experience in that relationship or situationship, you know, like moving forward, I don't want this, or moving forward, I love that this person did this, but I didn't like that. But when you know what it is that you like, what you don't like, I'm telling you that tolerance, baby, that tolerance, you ain't settling for no BS. You're not dealing with
Mm-hmm.
no. So when you know what it is you want, like you able to handle those unknowns. You able to. I'm just really getting into therapy and going through this process. Like it really changed the way I treated myself, the way I decided, Andrea, how is Andrea going to show Andrea that she loves her? It made me more conscious of what I'm eating. I really, kind of got into my working out and taking care of myself. Like I said, I take myself on dates. I do things for myself. I'm going to treat myself the way I want to be treated because that way, moving forward, nobody will ever be able to come into my space and treat me less than.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
my kids will see this. I don't have to wait for nobody to do it for me. I'm gonna do it for myself. If I like this, I'm gonna do it for me, and I'm gonna make it happen for me.
Yeah.
We don't. Yeah, it's, a partner is great. Like I was telling you the other day, like being out here doing all this stuff that I'm used to a man doing. Like, okay, I'm looking for a man. No, I ain't looking for a man because my peace is priceless. But it's just kind of like I might as well do it by myself because at least I had that peace. At least but yeah, do I miss a man doing this? Like I said, checking the weather, knowing if some salt needs to be put down. Yeah, I do. This ain't what I'm used to doing. I'm installing stuff, putting stuff up, but you have your peace. And so, like I said, ultimately, everybody wants somebody to love. And I don't care who you
Mm-hmm.
talk, the biggest player, whatever in the world. Like everybody wants somebody that's just for them and that's for themselves. But I believe it starts with you. So if you doing that with you, you're not yearning for it that bad. You won't be desperate and you won't settle and you won't fall into the wrong thing for you, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep. Like that time to yourself, I think is super important. Um like I know like in the environment I'm in right now because it's such a small community, but then everybody is away from their families. People tend to want to be around each other more. And so I know this past weekend, I was kind of just like, yeah, I'm not going out this weekend. I don't feel like being sociable. And they like, well, what's wrong? And it's just like, nothing's wrong. I just want to be in my own space, to myself. Like, unfortunately, I can't just go venture out by myself like I would like to. Because if I could, baby, I would have been at the spa by now. But, it got to be a group effort for safety purposes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, but those are normally things that I would do on my own. Go get my nails done, go to the spa, get a massage. So it's like I have to mentally prepare myself for the stuff that I would normally do on my own. Like I'm gonna have to be okay with doing this with somebody. And most times I'm the only person with a car or the only person willing to drive out in these wild ass streets. So because baby, I'm gonna get where I got to go. And so it'd be like, it's people that don't drive, people don't have cars. So it just be like, I know they want to get out and do stuff too, so I, make it a point to be like, all right, it's a group effort, but I can't wait till I can just go out by myself, take myself on a real date. Cause even if I did go somewhere by myself, I'm gonna run into somebody I know, and then it ain't gonna be a by myself type of thing. But I ain't gonna lie, before I left Georgia, I love just being able to go out to eat. Like I would post on TikTok and stuff like solo date with CoCo. And I remember one of my friends, he was like, is you still in a relationship? Because you be looking real single. And I was like,
Hey, listen, he was like, "Why you always on a solo date and when you got a man? Like,
right.
where's you and your man at?"
And I'm like, I'm just enjoying my time to myself. Just it's something about going to a restaurant, sitting at the bar, like, now we have our phones or whatever, so I could just scroll in another environment on my phone. But I know I do want to start reading books more often. So I need to get me a new Kindle because I mean, I have my iPad, but girl, that thing, it don't want to store nothing no more. So I do need to get me a Kindle potentially. But, reading more books. Right now I am reading this book called Black Love Letters, and it's not really a like a storyline type of book. It's just a book with a compilation of different letters written by Black artists, about their experiences with Black love. And it's not just romantic love, it's familial love, it's friendship love, people,
Mhm.
places, things type of love. You know what I'm saying? And so I think
Okay.
it's more of a real well-rounded type of love versus just one type. Because I think a lot of us do get caught up in, we don't have love in our life if it ain't from the person we want to be in a relationship with.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
so it's assisting in that, understanding that there's love all around us.
For
Like
sure.
I remember when I was in therapy before, I was telling my therapist about most times I'm only vulnerable with the person I'm in a relationship with versus other people. And he was like, well, why? I said, that's just who I feel comfortable showing all parts of myself to. And he was like, well, don't you have friends? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you should be able to be vulnerable with your friends. You know what I'm saying? And so realizing like the people or the women or the friends that I do have in my life, like y'all are my safe space. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And like I shouldn't feel shame to express how I feel to my friends, you know?
Mhm. I think that's important. Like you said, that friendship love or that familiar love. Like for me, like my sisters, my friends, my cousins, like that love has truly, like, it'll carry you through some of your darkest times. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but yes, I do think sometimes we do hide things and hold things back because it's like, well, girl, I don't want you to judge me, or I don't want you, but
Mm-hmm.
be like, we not doing that because I'm gonna love you regardless, baby, whether I agree with what you're doing or not. And I know that that's the same for me. I know I do some crazy things, and my friends be like, Andrea, really? But I know it's not judging, and I know it's. But that's the thing too about our friends. like I'm gonna call you on your shit. So
Yeah.
that's why maybe you know what I mean? Like I think we need those people that's gonna, call us on that, let us
Hmm.
know. Gonna be like, okay, yeah, girl, you right. Like, I mean, and I think for me, like, it's definitely always been that way with my sisters. Like, yeah, they
Hmm.
the hell out of me, but they're my sisters. So,
Yeah.
whatever. So
Like
it
I real life love your sisters. Like I love y'all dynamic. I understand y'all sisters, y'all ain't gonna always get along, but y'all real life like ride or die, and I love that. And I appreciate like, I could be their friend too. When I come in town, we all kicking it. Everybody
yeah,
like, hey, CoCo home, you know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes. That's what I mean. Like my close friends, like my sisters, like they treat them like they sisters too. Like that's how it is. Like you said, we riding, okay. And it's the
We ride at dawn.
and they friends, like they close friends, like I love them that same way, and it's like this my sister too, so
Hmm.
it is great to have like a network of strong women,
Hmm.
smart, supportive women, like those type of things are important. And even with me being a mom and having my children, um that love, like that mother, like the
Hmm.
mother that you have with your children. Like I will see a lot of single women on social media being like, "Oh, I'm so lonely and I'm this and I'm that," and like they got kids and the kids at home with them, and I'm like, I'm never lonely or bored with my kids here. That's why I'm like, what the hell y'all doing? Because
Child,
baby,
y'all be outside.
we be outside, but even if we inside, baby, we're gonna be playing Uno, Scrabble. Even if we just sitting here looking at each other, I'm watching them playing a game. Like I'm never bored. Like it's always, So I think as women, or just people in general, we can't put all of our everything, like you said, into a spouse. Like, what
Hmm.
about your kids or your family or your friends or just you?
Hmm.
Don't give somebody that power or that key to like your happiness and your everything. Like I do feel like when you in love with somebody and you happy, yes, y'all are a lot to each other. But I know for me, I would never make the mistake of that being like my everything.
Child, I don't want that type of love no more. Like I've been there. Can't get up for work type love. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got into it. I can't get up for work.
So
Call
you
me
mad
when
at
you late.
everybody catching strays because this nigga done pissed you off.
Girl,
Like,
I'm
girl,
sitting at work fuming like, don't talk to me.
right. Like I
I'm not
don't
talking to y'all today.
right. You don't want to give nobody that much control and like power over your energy. Like, no, baby, we gonna vibrate higher than that. It ain't
Hmm.
doing that,
Yeah.
So it's we living and we learning, we learning.
Hmm.
That's all I can say is I just pray like for me to just be a better person and be a
Yeah.
better, like, even now, like, with my ex-husband, I want to just be a good co-parent with him. I want us to have like a mutual respect. And again, I know that it takes time to get there because both parties have to heal. And
Right.
we'll get there like where we like really good. But
For sure.
of course, like I still have, that respect and admiration for him as a father because he is the best father to his children.
He is a great dad.
I would
And I
never.
love him for that.
Yeah, that's another thing too. I can't judge, but I would never keep my kids away from their father because I had my father. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So that's an important relationship. So, I mean, does it hurt me to have to like share my kids and every other week, I don't have my children? Like that's been hard. But like I said, I just try to make the best of it by like getting back to me. But I just think over time, when people heal, like the relationships will get better. So me and him will co-parent better. Right now, we doing what we can, we making it work, but I'm pretty sure it'll get better as time goes along.
For sure. I definitely think it will. Um, like I've known y'all when y'all been in a great space, known y'all when y'all not been in a great space. Do I ever feel like he didn't love you or didn't love y'all family? I never felt that way, but I do understand like the inner workings of a relationship are just different when you in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can love who he is to you, I can love who he is to your kids, but at the end of the day, like if you unhappy, like you have to do what's best for you. And I have no judgment for anybody choosing themselves over the person they've been with 20 years. Like if you ain't happy, you ain't happy. And that's just that. Like
Yeah.
I am no proponent. Like I just don't believe in staying somewhere where I'm not happy. I think you do yourself a disservice by
Sure.
staying somewhere like that. And I just hope that anybody that is listening to this episode right now, like, just know that things will get better. This
Yeah,
person will not be your end all be all. Like, there's somebody out there that is gonna love you for who you are and what you like and what you do. You know what I'm saying? And we I believe you can't believe everything that's on social media, but when those little quotes come about, like I posted this one quote today. It said, "What's meant for you will always feel natural, calm, and clear, not forced, chaotic, and confusion."
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that wholeheartedly. Like, if it's meant to be, I mean, every day ain't gonna be easy, but it's not gonna be hard where it's just like, how can I continue doing this? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like,
Exactly.
you're not going to be confused about
No,
continuing to stay with somebody. Like,
exactly.
that person is literally supposed to be the person that brings you peace. Like, we go out into the world every day. We fight stuff at work. We fight shit in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
We doing shit every day. We walk out this house dealing with stuff. I should not have to come home and deal with this shit over here too. Like,
Exactly. Exactly. Like home should be your peace. It should be
yes.
your sanctuary. It should be your safe place from the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's and when it's not that, it's you literally living every day in confusion, anxiety, stress, and that is
Mm-hmm.
no way to live.
Girl, that's
Um,
why I got all these damn gray hairs in the front of my damn.
Girl, I know they done popped up. I had one in my eyebrow the other day. I was like, oh my goodness.
Girl, I got gray lashes, gray eyebrows. Like,
I told you that time what the wax girl said when I had one down there. She said, "Girl, he is stressing the pussy out. You got, you got to get."
girl, it be like that.
Oh
It literally started with one. I had one little gray strand, and it was just like, oh, look at my little gray hair. I got a little wisdom.
Lord.
Child, we start going through that divorce. They just start pop, 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 pop,
Popping up
popping everywhere.
everywhere.
I remember Tierra being like, "Girl, I done had gray since I was like," she was like super young, and I'm like, "I ain't no gray hair." Then one day,
They
there they
just
were.
mhm. Yeah, baby, life get by you fast, honey.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it
Definitely
does.
fast, and then you have some kids, and it start moving and fast forward. Okay, that's really when time starts flying because you looking like I just had you. How are you 12? You know, crazy.
Girl, I remember when Buddha would just be in my arm, just looking at me.
And the boy finna be 13 in June. Ain't that crazy? I'm like, what? I mean, one day I was like, stop yelling at me. My sister said, girl, he not yelling at you. His voice getting deep. I was like, my baby. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, them kids, baby, they definitely have your life on fast forward.
Girl, Aiden messaging talking about some. I don't got no PlayStation. I was like, oh, okay,
So
Aiden.
he found your number real quick.
Right.
Like, oh,
Ain't said nothing to me. Got that damn gift card. Was like, this ain't it.
kids are something else. He like, hold on, TT, look, this ain't what I got.
Hmm. Yes, they grow up so
They do.
fast.
Crazy, crazy.
I remember meeting Aiden when he was freshly born.
Girl, it's I'm
And he
like
what, 10 now?
he well, is he 10? Oh, he 9. He 9.
Nah.
Today Zuri is 6. It's her birthday. She's 6.
He just turned 9.
Nah, he just made 9 in January. And like I said, running to be 13 in June. Yeah, they getting away from me, girl. They getting away from me.
Hmm.
So honey, I feel like I'm gonna age backwards. I don't know what's happening with them, but yeah, mama is aging backwards, okay?
Mm. Somebody was asking me recently, like, with me having kids at an older age, they like, you ain't gonna be able to travel as much. I said, baby, I got a
Yeah,
mama.
right. But
I
that
got a
baby can
mama.
go with you too though.
Baby can go, but I got a mama that want to watch kids.
What you say?
Mama,
She been
I
waiting on
need
this.
to I need to make a pit stop in Chicago and drop the kid off.
Girl, you know I got some babysitting in me too, boo. I'm
I'm like, somebody gonna
ready for
watch
the
this
kids.
baby. I said, this baby is not gonna stop no show.
I know that's right. If the baby can't go, you got some places you can drop that baby
Right.
off.
I'm like, if the baby can't go, they got someplace they can go. That's what
Yeah,
you need to know.
yeah, when you have kids, you can't do this, you can't do that, honey. That is a lie. You can do it all.
I
Don't let
think
nobody put no limits on you.
I definitely think as long as you got a solid support system,
Mhm.
nothing is outside of your reach.
That's
Like you see, like I have this one friend, like she's an older lady.
mhm.
But she cooler than a fan, cooler than a fan. But I remember she said she went to college and her freshman year she ended up getting pregnant and she was so scared to tell her mama and her mama was like, if you want to go to school, you can keep going to school. We gonna make sure you and the baby is good. And she went to school. She was a majorette. She graduated, like, very successful now. And it's just like nothing is outside of your reach. You know what
No,
I'm saying? You just got to be able to be willing to put in the work and do it.
yeah, to make it happen. I know that's right.
Hmm.
Shoot for the moon, baby.
Yep. It's so funny. It's that one post on social media. It'd be like you 23 years old and your work best friend 50 some years old named Dilma.
Hey, that's true though. I
Uh-huh.
love all of my older work friends.
Hmm. Me too. I
Yes,
ain't got none right now. I'm the
oh,
oldest thing in my
I
damn
have
office.
like I mean like we are friends. Like it don't
Yes.
matter. I don't care how old you is.
Yeah,
You
I
know
don't
when I
got no
first started.
older ladies in my work right now. I am the oldest thing up in there. But
Oh, auntie. Okay, auntie.
girl, it's people around here real life calling me Mama Coco, Auntie, and I'm just like, where y'all get this from?
Girl, that remind me now. You just made me think of that other post talking about so why was you in second grade calling the kindergarten your daughter your
Right. These
not they
my sons.
Coco.
I have definitely called people my son before. And now that people actually calling me mama, I'm like, wait a minute.
You like, wait a
Mm-mm.
minute.
I'm nobody's mama, okay? I'm not there yet.
them all your when you know when you supervising, you got a couple kids you ain't asked for, okay?
Girl. Whew. Them gave me gray hairs too.
Yeah. You got some kids you ain't birthing to this world.
Mm-hmm. I sure do. And I love all my kids, even when they get on my nerves.
I know that's right.
Mm-hmm. But I love this Kiki session today.
Yeah.
I feel like it was just needed. I think I think people genuinely need to see like good friendships because I feel like there's so many people out here that ain't good friends to people.
Mhm.
Folks is tolerating folks,
Mhm.
and I appreciate having friends that call me out on my shit. Like, I know when I have done things in the past, and you just like, well, look at it from his standpoint. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I'm just like,
You like, girl, I want to hear this.
girl, I don't want to hear that because I don't care. I don't care. But but I appreciate that. I hope that, outside of my like I value being a good friend to people as well. And I just hope that for the friendship and the love that I receive from y'all, that I am giving that in return. Even
Yep.
for the people that I may not be best friends with, like I say, I had to choose me sometimes, but I hope that I am a good friend to them as well. I try and send a prayer, a Bible scripture. If I see something motivating, I do try and send that out to people. It may not be every day, but sometimes I see things and I think of specific people.
Mhm.
But I just hope that the energy that I receive, the energy and love I receive, I just hope that I'm giving that back out to people. Because I'm genuinely appreciative. Like when I tell you, I feel so grateful in my life right now. Like I feel like I genuinely have people in my life that love me and pour into me on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have my moments where I just be like, I got nothing for you.
That's okay, and that's okay because every day we can't be everything to everybody. Sometimes you can only be for yourself, and that's okay. But you truly do, you truly do give out that love and that good energy and that support. Like you like that with anybody, and that's why sometimes I be looking like, oh, this man he ain't good enough for my friend X, Y, and Z. Because you off the back, like that's who you are. You can't help it. Your heart is that big. So
Hmm.
sometimes I know your friends are like, well, girl, hold on, like, slow down. He ain't worth all that yet. So
Yeah.
because that's just who you are. You got that big heart, that give, that generous energy that, you want to take care of people and you want to make them happy. So I understand that, but it's always remember to take care of CoCo. You gotta take care of CoCo first. Then that way CoCo good. Then she can take care of everybody else. You gotta make sure
Hmm.
you good before you go to watering everybody else's plants.
You
Make
right.
water yourself and send the sun first. Or you get to everybody else.
You right. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you for coming on the show. I
Thank you.
appreciate your continuous support. And like always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, encouraging me to continue doing the podcast because it was definitely some moments where I was just like, I don't know if I wanted to continue doing the show. I wanted to revamp it all the way around and have like a co-host. Um, and I'm not saying I was, like just not knowing if I wanted to bring the show back, if it was worth bringing the show back. But I have like the couple episodes that I have done at this point, like I have genuinely enjoyed doing them. I hope the people listening enjoy. Um, and I just appreciate y'all for being encouraging, tuning in every week, even if it's not you tuning in on the day of, the listen still counts.
Yes. Yes.
So I
CoCo's
appreciate it.
back.
Yes, I am back. So, until next time. Bye.